We're here. We made it. Mark didn't think we would make it, but we did.
You guys rock, huh?
That's right. Mark and the Funky Bunch here this morning.
Nothing but good vibrations in this studio.
That's right. I'm digging them.
I'm going to sing that all day in my head now.
You're welcome. Absolutely.
How's it going, Molly?
It's going pretty well. How about you?
I'm happy. I'm good. I'm getting caffeinated, and we're rolling into a 3-day weekend.
We're rolling into a 3-day weekend.
Yeah. So that's really beautiful.
Which we should remind everybody, the library will be closed on Monday in honor of Matin Luther King Jr. Day.
That's right. That's right. And that's a little bit what I'm going to talk about this morning. But I know that you have been on a roll with all sorts of new good reads as we start out this 2026 year.
I have been.
Yeah. What do you have?
I'm moving in my reading list already.
That's amazing. I will say, I'm gonna make my goal this year. Last year, I had a goal of 24 books because I feel like 2 books a month is pretty reasonable, and I did not make that.
You know what, though? I think you need to give yourself credit for the things that don't go into there.
Yeah.
You read a script, you memorized a script, and you performed a script.
Thank you.
I feel like that should count for like multiple books that I read in the car on my way to work.
That's like the deepest analysis of a book.
That is reading.
Script.
You know, I meet so many people who tell me I don't read. And you do. You actually do. You don't give yourself credit.
Right.
If you like to read on your phone, you're reading as long as you're looking at words, right? Magazines count.
This is true.
I know people who only like to read repair manuals.
Right.
Guess what?
Right.
That's reading.
Yeah, and I do read quite a bit of blogs, different things like that. One of my favorite, I talk about her all the time, social influencer is Sharon McMahon. She has a daily blog called The Preamble. I read the New York Times
yes, you do.
newsletter that they send out every morning.
You also keep me up to date on local news. You will send me articles all the time. I don't know that I would. You are reading 3 times as much what you send me, and I appreciate it when you see those connections for me.
Yeah, that's a great segue too, because there's so many other local news sources that are coming into play. We love our friends at WDLR. We love our friends at the Delaware Gazette. But there's a lot of other folks who kind of want to enter that scene. 1808 Delaware is a daily newsletter that's compiling some information, but also making some of their own information. The Delaware Source is coming to town. That's a new kind of print online magazine journal that's coming. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the news sources continue on.
Yeah, to try to get your information and you're reading. You're reading, Nicole.
Thanks, friend.
Anytime.
Well, what do you have for us this morning then?
So I am gonna pick. I've been reading quite a bit because it's the beginning of the year. A lot of my books are really short, so nobody feel bad. I've literally picked some 5 or 6 hours, or I'm finishing some books up I started and didn't finish.
Yeah.
So that I can get a little ahead of myself and feel good about it.
Right.
So I'm not reading real long books here, people.
I do that too.
One of the short ones that I really, really enjoyed, though, and I'm surprised because I've read her first book and I thought it was okay, but I love the second, is Girl, Stop Apologizing, a shame-free plan for embracing and achieving your goals.
That's a Rachel Hollis,
That's
right?
Rachel Hollis.
Yep.
Girl, Wash Your Face. I didn't connect with it. I feel like maybe it was more for the mom group.
It had hot and cold reception. Yeah, that's what I've heard about it.
But when I read Girl, Stop Apologizing, she even said in Girl, Wash Your Face that her goal was to have that book make the New York Times bestseller. Well, in this one, she talks about, hey, sometimes you got to own your things that don't happen.
Yeah.
Because it didn't. This book did make the bestseller book list. What I love about this, it really is an uplifting book about, if you want to do something, the only thing holding you back is trying. Yeah, you might fail.
Right.
But you also might do it, and you're never going to know if you don't take that first step to getting there. I really enjoyed the audio on this one. I got it from Libby. It came really pretty quickly. It's a short read, everybody. If the dark and cold is getting you down and you need someone to pick you up, I highly suggest this in audio. She is cheering you on. She's really raw in this one, too, in my opinion. So she's talking about the things she hasn't done as well. The things that, she's working on. what she's appreciative about as well.
Yeah.
And it's little things. So in this one, I even felt like I connected a little with some of her parenting stuff. It was a little more relatable to those of us who don't have kids.
Right, yeah.
As well as those of you who do. So I am really going to push this one this year. It's a little bit older of a book. It's not brand new. I think it would be great if you're in an all-girls book club.
Yeah.
Especially, the midlife. So anywhere in the maybe late 20s to heading into your 50s.
I felt like at 25 I had a quarter life crisis. Like I was like, I don't know who I am, where I'm going, what I'm doing. Up until that point in your life, if you think about it, everything changes every 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
You're 0 to 3, maybe you're at home, then you go into a preschool for 3 to 5, then you go into an elementary school from 5 to 11-ish. That's about the longest span you have at that point in your life. Then middle school, 2-3 years, high school, 3-4 years, 5 years. Whatever it took you.
And when you hit those college years, you never lived in the same place.
Right? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Like every year I was moving for like 6 years of my life.
So yeah, for the first like 22-ish years of your life, you're really in a state of constant flux. And so when I finally kind of settled, but not really, but like kind of settled by 25, I was like, oh my gosh, is this life? And
it doesn't feel now for me, I was so excited to get into this career. Like I was one of those, I knew my career. I knew what I wanted. I loved being a children's librarian. There is nothing I loved more.
Yeah.
It was my everything. But it was, as I was hitting my 40s, I'm like, am I doing this forever?
Right.
I had sort of that like,
is this my big girl job?
Is there not going to be any change? And of course, through things like this, you've watched me kind of change. I love Excel. Listeners, you may not know this about me. I went from the girl who did story times and jumping and counting and all that.
And right brain, left
wanted
brain.
all of that. And now I cannot wait to get an Excel sheet to solve a problem. I can't wait. A Gantt chart. If you all don't know what a Gantt chart is, it's my favorite.
So many opportunities with Gantt charts.
I have found now, as I'm entering 50 this year, I have found that there are new things for me to learn. There are new things in the career I have always loved and been passionate about that are still going to challenge me as I move forward.
Yeah.
And,
And we'll talk about, like, as we go on with today's show, as you can tell, it's just me and Molly here. We're talking about, we're talking about, like, kind of, New Year's resolutions. That's our theme for the rest of the show. But it doesn't always have to be fulfillment from your career.
It doesn't.
Sometimes your career, and we're loving that, like, is just you wake up, you go to your job, you do great at it, you go home, and then you live your life. And that's a different work ethic from, one generation to another. And so, some people live to work, some work to live. That's the difference.
Yeah. And you and I really represent two very different generations and lifestyles.
Where do you draw the line?
Yep.
Is it a hard line? Is it a blurry line? And so, if you need that fulfillment, you can get that outside of your career. And sometimes the library can help.
Oh, the library. I keep surprising myself in how many areas we can help you. We need to be your first stop anytime you go.
Really?
You take that breath of what's next? Come on in. We got you.
Oh my gosh. We could brainstorm so many ideas with you. And so stay with us today because we are going to do that brainstorm. We're also going to talk a little bit about what I've got, which I've watched some of these. So you talked about Girls Stop Apologizing. We already mentioned that the libraries are closed on Monday to honor Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And this is one of my go-to times for Kanopy. So Kanopy is our streaming resource. It is videos and it is free with your library card. You make an account. Also, like quick plug for Kanopy Kids. Download the Kanopy Kids app, put their library card into it, or just use your adult library card and put it onto the kids side. It is so much fun on the kids side. The videos are free and unlimited, and they have like animated versions of your favorite characters, like the pigeon, Mo Willems the pigeon, like Nuffle Bunny, also Mo Willems, like the little white rabbit, Max and his sister Ruby.
Yes.
So,
Max and Ruby.
Max and Ruby, super sweet.
A lot of those, if for older listeners out there, you might remember they were the Weston Woods collections back in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Weston Woods, when I was a children's librarian, which was a long time ago, was, I was a go-to for so many of you for those short videos that.
And it's nice because your kids can watch them and enjoy them as they are, but then you can also check out the physical book, and then you can say like, hey, why don't you kind of follow along? Jasper Rabbit is a great one on that. The creepy carrots, creepy pair of underwear.
Creepy carrots.
That's where we really got into it. But over on the adult side, and it's not adult content, it's just not kid.
Yeah. It's not curated. It does have like the Criterion collection.
Yeah.
I know that is something Lloyd absolutely loves, and I love when he pulls out a good Criterion. Those are the art house films, master classes.
Yeah.
They really explain. There are always those little add-ons that help make that so much deeper, and they're the best of the best.
Yeah. So it's neat. It works on a ticketing system, much like a movie theater, if you will. I'm sure that's the pun. And you get 24 tickets a month, and you use those to check out streaming films. And the cool thing about this is you can do it on your computer if you like to watch things on your laptop or your computer. You can also download this app to your smart TV.
Yes.
So just download Kanopy to your smart TV. They make it really easy to connect once you have your library card and account set up. They've got a really amazing curated list right now for Martin Luther King Jr. Day that has both dramatized and documentary style films, and I think that it's just one of the coolest ways, because I think it's so neat that MLK was in the era that he was, because he was able to be recorded, and he was such an eloquent speaker and a moving speaker that reading his words is one thing, but hearing him deliver them was an entirely different thing. And using this particular curated collection, you get to hear those words straight from Dr. King's mouth. And so there are 5 different PBS produced films. There's Freedom Summer, there's In Remembrance of Martin, Black America since MLK. So some of them kind of start with the civil rights movement and move forward to see what we have lived through since the 60s. But then there's also ones, like I said, dramatized. Selma is in there.
Oh, Selma is fantastic.
Selma was created in 2014. Same Oscar-winning producers of the movie 12 Years a Slave. And it is the true story of Dr. King and how he rallied his followers, specifically on the march from Selma to Montgomery. It has Oprah Winfrey, Tom Wilkinson. It's produced by Paramount Pictures. That's only a 2-ticket rental through Kanopy. So that if you want to watch Selma this weekend, this is your free way to do that. It also has some neat related stories. So one of the ones that I found that was created in 2023 is called Move When the Spirit Says Move. And it is the legacy of Dorothy Foreman Cotton, who was a civil rights leader. She educated folks about the civil rights movement, and she was the only woman on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s executive staff.
Yeah.
So she's related to the story, but she also has a story of her own, and so I like that. Dorothy Cotton's legacy is also included in this collection of Dr. King. And one of the other really neat ones is you could simply just open up. I want to say it is the authorized biography of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Historical Perspective. It is the only biography that is basically approved by the King Foundation. I want to make sure I get that right.
I did not realize that.
Yes, it is using rare and largely unseen film footage and photographs. This film, endorsed, by the King Foundation, explores Dr. King's ideas, beliefs, and methods. And so that's kind of like, if you really want one that the family says this is what we feel is true to his legacy, then that's one to watch as well. Only an hour long, made in 1994. 2 tickets on Kanopy.
Oh, that's wonderful. When you have a day off, it's nice to learn maybe a little more than you knew when you were in school.
Yeah.
Teachers only have so long to teach you on every topic.
Yeah.
Life is about learning. That's what drives me through the years. So come on in. We've got more for you. We'll make it easy.
Willow was my 7-year-old was really into learning about Dr. King last year, and I happened to be reading a picture book about Coretta Scott King.
I love the books on Coretta. A lot of people don't know that force behind Dr. King. And when you are married to somebody who's in that kind of a light, what is that experience?
And everything that she did and did even after he passed. So.
Well, the Coretta Scott King Book Award is one of the highest book awards in libraries. And, her foundation is behind the selection of that every year.
That's right. Well, with that, we will take a break. We'll come back on the other side, and we'll talk about some ideas to have the library help you in your New Year's resolutions and all the resources that we can just...
So many.
Stay tuned.
My music in the morning, the Mid-Ohio Breakfast Club.
Hey there, what's going on? It's Mark and Sherry on the Breakfast Club. Mark Bingham and Sherry Fisher. We do a live and local morning radio show every weekday morning between 6 and 9. Everything you need to know, stretching from Galion to Mount Gilead to Delaware to Marysville to Dublin, all points in between. We get you up and going. News, weather, and traffic, and some cool tunes too. The Breakfast Club between 6 and 9 on My 96.7 and Classic Rock 95X. Yeah, 6 with a wind chill.
You know what? I'm not going to tell my daughter that because
not okay anymore.
She got in the car this morning and she said, Mom, I think it's like 4 degrees outside. And I was like, well, my dashboard says 20. And she was like, well, I feel 4. So I'm not going to say.
Yeah, well, she was right. Yeah,
Stop.
It was 19 at that point in time, and it felt like 4, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah.
Maybe Willow's magical trait is that she can predict the weather.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good magical trait.
That would be a great magical, or less helpful, just to be able to tell you at that exact moment what the temperature is. That's not very helpful.
There's a great book series called Alcatraz Smedry for kids, and it's all... So the whole thing is everybody in his family has a talent.
Oh, like bad magical traits?
His talent is to break things. His grandfather's talent is to always be late. And I have bonded. Of course, they have evil librarians in that too. It was one of my favorite book talks because I'd look at the kids and be like, don't tell anybody I'm telling you about this. It's in fiction, but it's real. So it was my favorite.
That's awesome. Well, we are back with Off the Shelf. We are talking about ways that the library can help you to really get your goals going this year. We've got lots of ways to do it. One of the first goals that should be on your list is to complete one bookmark for our Winter Reading Club.
Absolutely. So a lot of you, I hope, are like me and you set your reading goal, whether you're on Goodreads or you're using the newer Story Walk.
Yep.
However you want to track, or you're just writing them in a notebook, or Mom on the... I don't know, is it in a calendar? She has 12 calendars, and I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
And she tracks different things in them. However you track, you may set yourself a goal.
Yeah.
And for doing that, the library has a lot more resources than you may realize. So we have everything from Novelist, which is on our research resources page. Novelist is great because you can really set Novelist in a way that it personalizes your reads.
Right.
You can even put age limits in. So if you're trying to find books that are right for your 8 to 9-year-old on sci-fi, it'll help you get that list. Okay, if you've got the little kid who wants to read Junie B. Jones in order, that is completely not necessary. But once you put a number on a book, some kids need to read 1 and then 2 and then 3. Same with Magic Tree House. If you've got one, we can get you that list.
Yeah.
You don't need to read that in order.
No.
But again, I've had a lot of kids in my career who came in and were like, yes, but that's a number.
3.
And that's how you can also remember what you've read.
Right.
It is a way to make sure you're not rereading the same book.
Yeah, and a cool plug, Novelist, so what it does is you plug in a book that you've recently read. You say, I really liked, Girl, Stop Apologizing. And then I ask for recommendations, and it comes up with, a list of 10 or 20, and it says why they're related. But a more personalized way to do that is through the library's personalized picks, which is staying through January 31st. These are librarians doing that job for you.
I absolutely love I wrote notes today.
Oh,
I
look at
wrote
you.
notes today to make sure. Look at you getting that personalized picks in there.
It's so easy. It's delawarelibrary.org/personalized-picks, or you can also find it on our winter reading page, delawarelibrary.org/winter reading, and you fill out a form with that information, and then our librarians take care of all the work, and they email you a beautiful list. Booklist.
It's wonderful. If you're a picky reader who wants to read reviews, can I suggest something called Booklist online? Booklist is one of the magazines we order from because it puts professional reviews in there, giving you a ton of information. So if you are somebody who wants to know a lot about a book before you open that first cover, Booklist Online is perfect for you. There's also something called Literary Resource Center. That's another one that's going to get you going, get you a little bit more information as you go, get a little more if you're leading a book club and you want to get a little more of that literary resources. That's another way to do it. Depends on how your book club goes. If you're a book club that gets together and drinks wine, maybe you don't need that.
You're more of a wine club that has a book problem than a book club that has a wine problem.
And you know what? We've got books on wine pairings that are going to really help you out on that one.
Nice.
But this one may help for those of you who really like to get deep into those conversations, or really like to tackle those literary hard reads.
I think that you know, all of those opportunities to get books in your hands when you feel like you're in a slump or you need inspiration, those are great go-tos, and they can all help you fill out your Winter Reading Club bookmark.
And I want to do a shout out to your team as far as reading goes too. There, if you watch us, especially on Facebook and the socials, we'll ask, "What are you reading?"
Oh yeah, every Friday.
And
today's the day.
Today is the day.
Yeah.
And the more that you all interact, the more book suggestions everybody has. So find out what your neighbors are reading.
You fed the algorithm. Yes.
You fed the algorithm.
If you interact with that post, Facebook or Instagram, and you say what you're reading, the more you feed the beast, the more it feeds you, and other people see it, and then you get more book recommendations. And on Instagram, we do a cool thing where we take those book covers and we post what people are saying, because you can't see the responses on Instagram. So
I absolutely love that, though. So shout out to your team for what they do with that one, because I get some of my book ideas from there. I love knowing what you all are reading out there.
Well, what are some of the other ways that the library can help you, Molly, that are maybe outside of reading, or that could be tied to reading but still are library resources?
Well, if you are like me, I'm facing a big number. I know that others are facing a big number
but
this
not
year.
That number.
Not that number. The big 50's hitting me, and it's making me really think, what do I want to have done before I hit 50? I've got 10 months. And in that time, one of the things I'm really trying to figure out is how can I do like a basic will or trust? I know the library is not your first source. Number one, do not ask my librarians to help you make your will or trust. We will not answer legal advice.
You don't want them to
either.
No,
we will not answer medical advice. Those should be left to lawyers and to medical professionals. What we can do is get you resources to help you know how to ask questions. So one of the things that you can do is we have 3 resources that might be useful for you on legal issues. Maybe you find yourself facing, you've been named the... Oh, now the word's slipping out of my head.
The executor
of an estate.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe you just need a basic legal form for a quick procedure or something. We have something called Legal Forms. It is a wonderful resource. It gives you some templates. It explains some of the information. It does have an Ohio-specific area, but, I come from the tri-state area in southern Ohio, so if you needed to figure out what West Virginia's look like, maybe some of your family's there, or Kentucky, or anywhere, you can look that up. There's also Ohio Legal Help. Again, they have templates. They are even more detailed in some of the resources that you may need. So if you're just trying to learn before you go in or create a template, I would still always have a professional look at it, but you can save money by maybe getting it started. You won't need to spend as much time because it'll make you think what questions you need to be asking. Have those discussions. I know Lloyd and I will have many, many discussions when I do this. We also have Ohio Revised Code. For those of you who are legal nerds.
Super nerdy.
It's there. And every now and again, I do go in and try to understand our revised code a little bit more. You can find that.
You'll even find mistakes, which is super fun too.
Okay, I don't find those, but
I do.
I know you can read some. You will always look at my major things before I send them out.
Well, I think one of the other neat things too is that the library has the resources that you can go and do on your own, but we do have a lot of group opportunities to learn together, and those are through some of the programs. One of the purposes of our programs is just bringing people together. We've got programs happening between now and the end of the month that are really going to be a lot of fun. Tomorrow specifically, the 17th at 7 o'clock, we're having trivia at Leb's Pizza House in Ostrander.
Gosh.
And this is for celebrating America 250.
Yes.
Mandy Henning, Ostrander branch manager, has put together the questions, so you know they're going to be good. There's probably going to be a grant one in there, so study up on your grant history.
There will always be a grant one in there.
But head out to Leb's tomorrow at 7 o'clock for trivia night for America 250. What else is happening, Molly, as far as some of... did I...
I have the resources down, Nicole, not the programs.
Okay. I'll give you a minute while I pull up some other things. If you just need an opportunity to get your kiddos to have some indoor snow. We haven't had a ton of snow this year.
No.
There's a drop-in indoor snow day on Friday, January 23rd from 4 to 5:30 at the Orange Branch. It's going to snow inside for a snow adventure.
Inside?
This is like ages 3 to 7. Bring them after school or bring them after daycare and give them an indoor snow day on that Friday. Oh, what about our winter train display? That's a good one.
The winter train display is absolutely amazing. That's going to be at our Delaware branch.
Right.
You can come in, look through, get your little train enthusiast out there to see it.
That's a full family event, too.
It is a full family event.
January 24th, so 2 Saturdays from now, not tomorrow, but the one after, from 9 to 5 at the Delaware branch. And it is like a full-on opportunity for the whole family.
Yes.
There is no age for train enthusiasm.
There is no age for train enthusiasm. Even I enjoy some trains sometimes in my world.
This is true. Anything else you wanted to touch on now that I've given you a second to find your find your list?
Coming up, we've got on Thursday, Teens Create, Cocoa and Canvas.
Yeah.
We still have some spaces available. This is a registration from 7:30 to 8:30 at our Orange Branch Library. And that's where they can drink some cocoa and they can do a little painting together.
A little painting. It's going to be a good time. Oh, and speaking of goals, we'll end on this. We would be remiss if we did not mention at the Liberty Branch Library on Wednesday, January 28th. So you've got time to add it to your calendar at 7 o'clock. 2026 new goals for the new year.
Yes.
I think Caleb and some of the other folks from the Adult Services Department in Liberty are going to help you create ways of creating meaningful resolutions that are more likely to succeed. They're going to have some journaling materials there, and that's going to be, if anything today has inspired you, you can take that to the Liberty Branch on the 28th. And
just to give you an idea, because there's not time to do all of them, I had everything from workouts, game nights, home improvement, growing your own budget, meditation, looking for a new job, and doing your family history.
I know.
There are resources. We just don't have time to talk about all of them all at once. We got you covered at the library.
Sounds like we've got a schedule for the next 5 weeks.
We do.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today and for thinking about some of those New Year's goals with us. And we'll be back again next week.
We always come back.
We do always come back. Until next time, we will see you in the stacks.